USS Gamble was a Wicks-class destroyer in the United States Navy during World War I, later converted to a mine layer in World War II. She was named for two brothers, Lieutenant Peter Gamble and Lieutenant Colonel John M. Gamble. Gamble was launched the 11th of May 1918 by the Newport News Shipbuilding and Amp Dry Dock Company, Newport News, Virginia, sponsored by Miss Evelyn H. Jackson, relative of Secretary of the Navy Josephus Daniels, and commissioned at Norfolk the 29th of November 1918. Commander H. J. Abbott in command. Service history. After shakedown training out of the Virginia Capes, Gamble sailed from New York City the 13th of January 1919 to take part in maneuvers off Cuba, Key West, Florida, and the New England seaboard until June 1919. Following overhaul at Norfolk, she joined the Pacific Fleet at San Diego the 7th of August 1919 and operated along the Pacific coast until placed in reserve status in the Mare Island Navy Yard the 1st of December 1919. In October 1920, she came out of reserve and assisted the flotilla in torpedo practice, maneuvered with the battle force, and cruised along the California coast as a training ship for reservists. She decommissioned at San Diego the 17th of June 1922. Gamble, recommissioned the 24th of May 1930, was reclassified on the 13th of June and converted into a light mine layer in the Mare Island Navy Yard. Arriving at Pearl Harbor from the West Coast, she became flagship of Mine Squadron 2 in July 1930 and later served as flagship of Mine Division 1, Mine Squadron 1. She patrolled Hawaiian waters instructing naval reservists in mine warfare and acted as plane guard and radio tracker for seaplanes, each year participating in fleet readiness and fleet problems until she returned to San Diego, where she decommissioned the 22nd of December 1937, recommissioning the 25th of September 1939 as Europe was plunged into World War II. She joined Mine Division 5 in patrol and school ship duties out of San Francisco. In April 1941, she proceeded to Pearl Harbor for war readiness patrol in Hawaiian waters as a unit of Mine Division 2. World War II. On the 7th of December 1941, Gamble had returned from offshore patrol, when her peaceful Sunday morning routine was broken by the first of the Japanese carrier-based planes which pounded American ships in the harbor. Gamble's gunners joined the fire of other warships and saw one enemy plane fall into the water on her port beam. After the attack, she took anti-submarine patrol station in the screen of Enterprise, and later guarded the approaches to Pearl Harbor. In mid-February 1942, she headed south in the escort for a convoy to Pago Pago, Samoa, then joined Ramsey in laying a protective minefield off Tutuila. At the end of March, the two mine layers shifted to the Fiji Islands, to lay a minefield in Nadi waters 7 to 14 April. Returning to Pearl Harbor for heavier armament, Gamble helped safeguard convoys to Midway during the time of the crucial and historic battle, then headed south with Breeze and Tracy to lay a defensive minefield off the entrance to Second Channel, Espiritu Santo, New Hebrides Islands. On the 27th of August 1942, Gamble joined a task unit headed to Guadalcanal. Although designated a destroyer mine layer, the old four-piper still carried anti-submarine gear. On the morning of the 29th of August, when her lookouts spotted a large enemy submarine, she immediately went into action. After several depth-charge attacks, Gamble ran through large oil slicks, found deck planking, and observed a large air bubble break the surface. Later, her victim was identified as I-123, whose dying radio had signaled under heavy enemy attack. Quote, That afternoon she proceeded at full speed to Neura Island, where she rescued 4 stranded aviators from Saratoga. Continuing to aid in the struggle for Guadalcanal, she transported 158 Marines to the island. The 31st of August, patrolled off Lunga Roads. Then on the 5th of September assisted in freeing William Ward Burroughs and escorted her to Espiritu Santo, New Hebrides Islands. Her patrol, escort, and transport duty continued as the drive for Guadalcanal pressed on to victory. 5 minutes after midnight, the 6th of May 1943, Gamble, with Preble and Breeze, turned simultaneously in rain squalls which broke at times to disclose each to the other in perfect formation. Making 15 knots, each ship dropped a mine every 12 seconds, planting over 250 mines in 17 minutes across Blackett Strait, the western entrance to Kula Gulf, and directly in the favorite route of the worrisome Tokyo Express. The ships then sped north to join the protective screen of Rear Admiral Walden L. Ainsworth's cruiser destroyer force before refueling at Tulungi. On the night of 7/8 May, 4 Japanese destroyers entered the mined waters. 1, Kuroshio, went down. 2 others, Oyashio and Keichiro, were badly damaged and sent out calls for help that brought Michishio to the scene. Aircraft, alerted by Coast Watcher, intercepted the rescue operation, sinking the 2 destroyers and sending Michishio limping back to port, badly damaged. On the 30th of June 1943, during the invasion of New Georgia, Gamble laid a string of mines off the beachhead, before returning to Tulungi. In July, welcome orders sent her back to the United States for overhaul. She headed west again the 20th of September 1943. Her min-laying duties then brought her to Empress Augusta Bay 1–2 November 1943 to support landing operations Bougainville Strait. 7–8 November, Purvis Bay, Florida Island. 23–24 November. Thence to the New Hebrides Islands for escort duty among the Solomons until she returned to San Francisco the 12th of October 1944. After overhaul and refresher training, Gamble departed San Diego the 7th of January 1945, en route via Hawaii and the Marshalls to Iwo Jima, where she arrived the 17th of February, to lend fire support to the various sweeping units, and to explode floating mines. During her shelling, a direct hit on an ammunition dump exploded the enemy magazine like a giant firecracker at the foot of Mount Suribachi. Fate. On the 18th of February 1945, Gamble was hit just above the waterline by 2 250-pound bombs. Both firearms immediately flooded and she became dead in the water with 2 holes in her bottom as all hands fought raging fires, jettisoned topside weight and shored damaged bulkheads. 5 men were killed, 1 missing in action, and 8 wounded. As Marines stormed the shores of Iwo Jima the next day, Gamble was taken in tow by Dorsey, who turned her over to L8M126 for passage to Saipan. She arrived at Saipan the 24th of February and went alongside Hamel for repair. Some hope remained for Gamble for a long time, but on the 1st of June 1945 she decommissioned, and on the 16th of July she was towed outside Apra Harbor, Guam and sunk. Awards. Gamble received 7 battle stars for service in World War II. As of 2004, no other ships in the United States Navy have borne this name.